Hey everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides of the universal energies. I may or may not have a look into Scrotus's ruling today. I probably will, but we'll see how timing goes because there's a lot of other things that I actually want to peek into. And I know a number of readers will be covering the Scrotus ruling. Now, I just want to put it out there that the Scrotus ruling, and you know what I'm talking about. So I've put it in my post section. And the very interesting part is, so it's via Yahoo News, but it was published by AP, which is Associated Press, and Associated Press is a trusted source. So it's not one of those propaganda sources. How it's being reported by some podcasters and on some of the mainstream media channels makes it sound like the Scrotus, I know there's no R in it, but look, what the heck, they deserve it, or at least 6 of them do. That Scrotus backed the Orange Felons executive order on mail-in voting. No, they didn't. And I've got the Three of Swords here, which is could be betrayal, could be treason, and then we've got the Sun card being something being fully exposed. So, and I'm going to use the sci-fi deck, but I'm going to read on something else other than this. I just wanted to point out that the really poignant fact was the Supreme Court sided with the Orange Idiot Monday in the case over the executive order restricting mail-in voting. However, what they actually did, Scrotus' Conservative majority didn't decide the legality of the order because they have no authority to, I'm just going to ad lib here, they have no authority to do so. It is in the Constitution that the states choose, not federal. So the Scrotus's Conservative majority didn't decide the legality of the felon's order. I must actually just change that because I've got his name there and I can't stand his name being on my page. So let me just felon's order. Instead, ruling that states who sued did not have the legal right to challenge it. So they haven't given the go-ahead. They've just said the states aren't allowed to sue against the executive order. So talk about muddy the waters. The Constitution says that the balloting system is decided by the states and run by the states, that the federals don't have any legality in regards to how the states run, and the Scrotus, I think what they're doing is it's like throwing a bone, so that the regime think they've got it, but they haven't really. Does that make sense? It's all very, very bizarre. So I'll just see how it plays out. I mean, I know legal minds are trying to dissect, but it's a bit hard to dissect when it's actually not a legal ruling. And it won't hold water. And I think Scrotus, the 6 on the panel actually understand that it won't stand. So, but it is just sort of causing sort of confusion and shade and smoke and mirrors and all the rest of it. So I'll just let that pan out for a couple of days and see what actually falls out of it. Because they don't have a legal ruling, Scrotus, executive orders are not legal, and they are simply like a memorandum to Congress, and of course Congress ain't passing it. They've already said no a couple of times, I think. So it hasn't got a legal leg to stand on. So pretty much the ruling is standing up saying, sue me to prove that it doesn't have a legal leg to stand on. So I'm using the sci-fi tarot. What I do actually want to have a look at in this particular reading is the supply base, US supply bases in Persia in the Middle East. So according to DefenseSecurityAsia.com, which is the page I'm looking at, 13 US bases in the Middle East, nearly uninhabitable after Persian strikes, forced to disperse the troops as the conflict reshapes the American posture. Now, this is why the ships in the area are not getting supplies, because there is nothing to supply them with. There are no bases. What would normally happen is a ship would return to one of the bases, get resupplied, and then head back out again. So there are no bases. But 13 bases taken out, uninhabitable. That makes me really question a few things in regards to what is not being disclosed, because I don't know how many were on a base. I might just Google that and have a look. So how many personnel in the US Middle East supply bases? It might tell me how many are usually there. Okay, it's not saying the bases themselves, but there are usually 40 to 50,000 troops across 19 locations. Okay, this is as of a couple of days ago. Okay, 19 sites, 8 permanent. Again, they're using that figure 40 to 50,000. I'm not seeing anything off really quickly off the top of my head to see how many personnel would normally be in those bases. But let's say there's 1,000 each. I don't know how many would be in a supply base. 1,000 each. What's that? 13,000 personnel at the supply bases. Even if there was 500 each, that's 7,500. These bases have been destroyed to the point where they are uninhabitable, which makes me think that there's some not truths being told about the casualty numbers. Now, one of my lovely viewers made a comment that apparently 60 more passings had been snuck onto the roll figures in regards to how many have been unalived in this conflict so far. But I want to have a look a little bit further. Tell me about the personnel from these supply bases. I mean, there was a report that they were then being put up in hotels or something, which those in the Middle East didn't like, because they made those hotels a target. But tell me about what happened to these supply bases that we are not being told. Now, this information, when these ships start coming back, this information is going to come out when these troops start coming back. It has been alleged that those on the USS Lincoln have been forced or told that they will not be allowed ashore unless they sign a non-disclosure agreement. There are reports about military personnel on these ships whose family are being seized by ICE. Okay, so let's have a look. To be probably pretty much held as keep your mouth shut hostages. That would not surprise me. Oh, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Tell me what we need to know about what happened on these supply bases in the middle. 13 supply bases, uninhabitable. What really happened? Now, I can't go past as well, just reminding you in regards to, what was it, 2 down pilots, and they sent in teams. I keep getting that they sent in teams to actually smuggle some uranium in so they can see, look what we found. But, the wheels fell off the cart fairly shortly afterwards. What did they lose? They lost, 3 helicopters and 2 troop planes or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly the same numbers. Yeah, I don't think we're hearing the truth about that either, about the personnel. I mean, that's 2 troop planes plus a couple of copters. That's a lot of extra bodies that you need, people that you need to get out, that you may not be able to get out, because where are you going to put them? Sitting 3 deep on your lap? Okay, let's Have a look, the bases. Oh, I noticed it was 10 o'clock exactly and then 10:01. Angel numbers everywhere. Okay, you've got the star card here. A journey into realms of, oh, well, fertility and intuition, but I'm not going to dwell on that too much. The star, very much about pouring from two jugs, one into the water on the emotional level, one onto land in the physical level. Okay, what do we need to know about these bases? The star. They were the star. Okay. Sorry. They were the jewel in the crown of US occupation in the Middle East, is what I'm getting out of that. Okay, got to go with where my guides take me. Challenged by the sun. Now, a star is a sun, but for us here on our little blue rock floating through the vast expanse of space, it's not as big as our sun. The challenge is the full exposure. So they were the star in the area, in the location, the jewel in the crown of the US military in the Middle East. And the challenge is finding themselves fully exposed. Now, the sun and star can also indicate something going boom, from things that drop from the air, because they are both explosive entities. Okay, let's see where this goes. At the foundation, the Ten of Swords. Swords coming down and taking, yep. He went looking for a better life and found annihilation. And we know what the usual Ten of Swords cards looks like. This is the underlying energy. I think they are, I have said all along, I think they are understating the numbers by at least 10 times. So if they've put 60 more on, you're looking hundreds, potentially hundreds. Whether that was the fact of, first of all, they came out with 7 and now they're saying another 60, which takes us up to 70. Could be, okay, because I've always gotten that they're 10 times. You've got the Two of Swords in the past. Blindfold on, arms across the chest to block passage forward, and trying to prevent the truth from coming out. Which way do we go? How do we spin this? Okay, crowning the reading, the Devil. I just have no words for that. It does say a machine perfectly engineered for enslavement, the machine or the people that engineer it. But yeah, the Devil. All those sold this. I'm not talking about the military personnel. I'm talking about those that are not releasing the information, because you've got this Ten of Swords at the bottom, Devil at the top, exposure in the middle, but also the star underneath as well. Those that sold their soul to the devil is crowning this reading. In the immediate future, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, luxury at the end of the world. It does say an oasis of riches to sustain herself, but what I saw when I first read that was an oasis of dust. Again, so these, the Nine of Pentacles, this conflict is being continued purely to feather the nest of certain people. You've got the military there with the Chariot externally. These will be the ships, the ship heading home. We haven't heard anything from those from the Ford. I think they probably had NDAs as well about what really happened. I mean, you don't lose 600 births in a laundry fire, in inverted commas, because that's not what I've heard along the grapevine, without somebody actually talking about it. It's just unbelievable. But this is the Chariot, the unstoppable vessel. This is the military coming home. You've got the Knight of Swords bringing a harsh truth with them, a reality. Got the Fool and the hopes and fears, stepping off the cliff into the abyss. The outcome, the Empress. Ooh, the mother of invention, it says. But I do, okay, let's see where they go here. The Six of Wands, false victory, claiming a false victory. But then we've got the Eight of Wands. The change is in the air. This could be the information coming forth. The real information coming forth. And then we've got the Seven of Wands on the back foot, having to defend the position, finding themselves cornered. The Four of Cups, not wanting to believe what is presented, and the Ten of Pentacles, ending of this oligarchical ick. Okay, ending. I do wonder whether there's going to be this claim of, like, the mother of all invention, making it up and then claiming victory before the information actually gets out there. This is really telling this particular bit here. The Devil, the Sun and the Star and the Ten of Swords. They're absolutely going to try and keep it covered up for... Is the information going to get out? Is the truth of casualties on the supply bases going to get out there? Going to be told? Is the truth of the casualties on these supply bases going to be revealed? Oh, Page of Pentacles. Documentation coming out. The challenges, again, the Sun card being fully exposed. But it might be this Page of Pentacles makes me feel like it's going to be reduced in size. But when I say reduced in size, I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm talking about, like, it'll be a little footnote on a document, because the fear is this full exposure. You've got the Six of Cups here, the naivety, the gift from the past, the future through the eyes of the past, keeping the ugly details under wraps. In the past, we've got the Two of Wands coming up with a plan. Got the Page of Swords again. I mean, I'm hoping this is whistleblowers coming out, but we saw what happened to the whistleblowers in the past that released military information that the Pentagon and the US government went after, like, absolutely hounded for years, imprisoned, just awful, awful, awful. Page of Swords, where are we going? Again, this Empress. In the immediate future, let's make it all up and distract. There'll be a distraction if there is any whistleblowers. You got the Ten of Wands, the burden, and in the external. Internally, the Ace of Cups, because it would be too emotionally overwhelming. Hopes and fears, the Wheel of Fortune, that we are entering a new era. The Tower, the destruction, the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Wands cornered. I think they're going to make up a bullshit tale try and keep it suppressed. And then we've got Justice coming. And then the Five of Wands about the lying and deceit by those in charge, the Emperor, the Four of Cups, rejecting the truth, Queen of Cups, the Emperor rejecting the truth, trying to keep a lid on it, but then you've got the King of Wands, action being taken. Eight of Cups on the bottom, somebody fleeing from the situation, from escaping the galactic law means a midnight of the soul, from the King of Swords coming out about those that benefited from this conflict. Nightmare situation, Temperance, trying to spin it, the High Priestess, secrets being revealed. The cards keep coming. The regime are going to do their absolute damnedest to keep it under wraps, to try and keep it to a little footnote on a top secret document that finds its way into the back, falls down the back of the drawer of the archives. I think it's going to come out though, looking at that Tower card. The Tower card, but it's not going to be for a while yet. Okay, are those that are in the military, anybody, are they going to come out and tell the truth of what they saw and what happened? And I've been given a vision, and it is of one of the bases after a hit on a building, and it is, let me just put it, it's, yeah. It's a bit of a, yeah, you don't need me to tell you. You can imagine it as well, or envisage it. Is somebody who has witnessed what happened going to come out and reveal? Come on down, let's have a quick look. Because they're absolutely the Fool. A step into the unknown as a genius or suicide. There is somebody that has to have faith that the system will protect them before they do it. And the current system won't. The Page of Cups, really unpleasant information being brought forward. The stinky fish, the unexpected message, the Five of Wands, because of currently it's been lied about, covered up. Five of Wands, the infighting, the energy behind the scenes. There's very possibly some infighting happening within the Pentagon about this. Okay. The Queen of Wands, holding the information, because queens for me are internally doing. So this is the information being held. However, you've got the all-seeing cat there. The Two of Pentacles, again, the leap of faith here. I suspect there will be, but not under the current regime. And there's justice in the immediate future. The Six of Cups. The attempt to keep it contained. The Page of Pentacles. Internally, again, footnote at the end of a document. But we've got hopes and fears, the Queen of Swords. She's fearless compared to the Queen of Wands. The Hanged Man, something being viewed differently. Abused, scorned and forsaken. Yeah, pretty much. The Eight of Swords could be sacrificed and jailed, court-martialed and jailed. And the Three of Pentacles. Again, working behind the scenes to keep this hidden. The Seven of Cups, smoke and mirrors. Ten of Swords about the number of deaths. But the Wheel of Fortune will arrive. and then the information can come forward. It may even come from broader horizons with that Three of Wands, an overseas government like the Germans or something, but it will expose the government manipulation or the regime manipulation about the military. And the Four of Swords. So we've got the Hierophant, the Magician, the Chariot, and then the Four of Swords. And then the Eight of Wands, the change in the air, and then the Star. Star coming out. Oh, Page of Wands information being brought forward, Five of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. Big information coming forward that they attempted to keep. The slaughter, did they go too far? Yeah, it will, but not until the regime is out, because I mean they have to weigh up. Is it worth it? You know, they've got to protect, these military personnel have to protect themselves and their families. It's not just themselves, as it's been proven. You know, wives, fathers, or, you know, extended family being snatched off the streets by the thugs, the regime thugs. It's not safe for them to disclose yet, but when they feel that it is safe and when the wheel turns, yes, the information will come out, but not just yet. And I think I mean, they've snuck 60 more on. I think it is, again, significantly higher than that. I'm not going to put a figure on it. I think it's, I'm just going to leave it there. Love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.